What's up, flooring family? Welcome to the huddle. We come at you every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central, to discuss maintaining forward progress in your flooring career. With me today, as usual, is Mr. Daniel and Jose Gonzalez of Preferred Flooring. We also have a couple special guests in Mike Kelly from Synergy and Sonny Callaham. So welcome, everybody. We are happy to have you aboard. We got an exciting episode. We've got a bunch of stuff going on. So I'll get kind of the topic out of the way. Today's episode number 80. Get paid, get trained, or get trained, get paid, I guess is the appropriate steps. And we got Sonny and Mike with us. So, Mike, would you mind giving us a quick introduction, sir?
Sure, yeah. Again, my name is Mike Kelly with Synergy Flooring. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We are a commercial flooring installation contractor that handles projects all over the country. We do a lot of national account work, so that puts us in all different types of regions and project types and flooring conditions. And we, really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys today and talk about flooring.
Awesome.
We do.
Well, welcome aboard. Love to have you. Sonny, what's going on today, sir? Give us a little bit of background on yourself.
First, I appreciate you guys having me. It's always good to be on this show. My background's installation. I started out as an installer in the 80s. Now I have an adhesive company, Divergent Adhesives, where we sell adhesive all over the country. But more importantly, I'm the chairman of the board for NAFCT. And we're happy to talk to you about training and the certifications and what you can do to make yourself better and make yourself stand out apart from the other installers who are out there.
Amen. Training. We talk about that all the time on this channel.
I know.
It's kind of a staple here. We believe in it. Specifically, look, at the end of the day, the subcontract community, we're trying to entice them to attend these trainings, attend certifications, boost your hammer rating on Go Carrera if you're a member there. If not, it still is a core value for us here on the huddle that training is important. And installing by industry standard is a very important thing. You never want to get a visit from the inspector and just find out that what you thought was right is not right. So on the screen, will pop up several different times throughout the episode to join the Go Career Network. Please feel free to do so. Good afternoon, Chad. Welcome to everybody joining us on the different social medias. So in today's episode, we are going to be picking the winner of the Sim Scholarship. So we did this last year. It was really successful. This year we had 22 applicants, and so Go Career sponsored a Sim Scholarship. And of those 22 applicants, we searched through for the best answers and narrowed it down to 15. That completed the application in its entirety and put some thought and some effort into some of the questions. So Jeremy said, just pick me already. All right. So we'll be doing that here in a bit. And, the topic today, the get trained, get paid. I'd like to get some feedback from you guys on, one of the biggest things or I would say most commonly commented on items, if you go across social media into the different Facebook groups, is installer pay. So it's all over the board. If you spend any time in there, a lot of us companies, many of you know, I own a commercial floor covering company out of Wichita, Kansas. The day-to-day operations, I don't do as much as I used to, but the installer pay side of things is always come up for us, but we bid work, and so there's some constraints and some hard things to talk about when you start talking about installer pay. But I do think it starts with training, and I'll leave that out there for some comments. What do you guys think? You know, is imperative for installers to start, increasing their pay rates?
Well, like you just said, is the training portion, the education portion. When you're adding that kind of knowledge to your toolbox, it's kind of hard not to grow with the product. It's kind of hard not to grow as a business owner, as an installer. Um, you start having a little bit more expectations for yourself rather than in dollar signs from some of the companies that you work for. So it puts you in a position to see more value in yourself, and when you see more value in yourself, you project that. And when you project that, then people seek you when, especially if you're doing good work and it's custom work or some niche. Now you have that niche and you're pretty good at it. Now you have some certification or some training under your belt. Now your terminology and your dialogue is a little more intellectual. There's a lot more to it than just going and learning a little bit more about flooring. Um, and that's just that's personal experience too, right? Like I know that this is going to be kind of individualized, but I've if I told you that we didn't see any growth after certifications or additional trainings, I would be lying to you.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
touched on it a little bit to build on what Jose said. One thing that I like to talk about a lot is terminology. There's nothing worse that when you're out there looking at a job, an installer starts talking about things and trying to sound like they know what they're talking about, but they use the wrong terminology. You instantly lose credibility when you can't talk about what you're doing correctly, right? So there's knowing how to do it, there's knowing how your uncle taught you how to do it, and there's knowing how to do it right. So there's a lot of steps to it. It's more than just taking a class, is what I keep trying to tell people.
Yeah, and Sonny's right.
Sonny, you're an inspector as well, right?
I do for
been
my company, right?
Yeah. So from that perspective, terminology comes really important. But also, it's really hard to learn the things that inspectors are going to be searching for, even if you put in good quality looking product. Those challenges can be difficult if you don't know what the inspector is going to be looking for. You got to dot your I's and cross your T's a lot of time if you've ever had a project inspected, which I've been through.
Right. And Chad Bookie is actually a local inspector from where we're at. And that's what he says. A lot of people, installers need to learn how to prep. And it's just one of those things. And that's where, the NAFCT is really good on their certification with the subfloor and substrate. It's amazing information. And there's a lot of terminology in there, some that you'll probably never use, right? But it's good to know.
It's good to know. Yeah. Well, I mean,
terminology is
that's why
universal too. I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off there, Sonny. I was going to say terminology is universal, right? If you as an installer, you're going and you're quoting what you've learned in class and some of the ASTM standards, if you're going in there and you're going verbatim, then that is across the board. This you can communicate with someone in California and have the correct terminology, but like some of the local places, they aren't going to be so technical, and they might have nicknames for certain things. And I guess it puts you in a position to learn both, to understand your local terminology with some of the stores that you work with, some of the other installers. But the national terminology is what you get educated on in the classes, in the training, in the certifications, and that's where it comes in handy, especially if you have to talk to an inspector or you have to take notes and put that information down. Now you have the right terminology, and it's universal.
That's right. And to build on what Paul was saying, when you talk about if you have to have an inspector come out to your job, God forbid something happens, they got to go out there. Well, how do you know you did it right? How do you win the game? You know the rules to the game. That's how you win. Well, the rules to our game are ASTM standards. And it just blows me away when people don't know those ASTM standards. F710, F2170, F1869. When you have an inspector come out, they're going to judge you by one or all three of those standards. And if you don't know what they are, how do you know if you complied to them? So there's a lot more to training. It's not just, hey, I took this class and a guy told me how to hold the trimmer a little bit better. I learned something. It's not that at all. It's learning what you need to know behind the scenes. What can you skip and what you can't skip, more importantly.
Yeah. I want to bring up another thing. You know, often on this channel, we talk about the SIM program as a really good thing for installers to go through as well. That we believe that it ups your professionalism. It will help you understand the companies you work for, some of the decisions they make, how they operate. But it'll make you a better installer, in my opinion. And Mike are you still chairman of SIM program there, Mike Kelly?
Yes, I am still the chairman of the SIM steering committee for FCICA.
Could you tell us from your perspective, and we have companies that join us on this program as well as installers and manufacturers, how does the SIM program help with, you know, in general, whether it's a company sending project managers to it or, you know, where do you see the benefit there and with, you know, installers? I really believe it helps them.
Sure, absolutely. Well, to kind of begin first, for those who aren't familiar with FCICA, it is a commercial flooring contractors association. So this is your actual contractors, installation teams all over the country who join to get this training, to learn more about the industry and their best practices, and to network with other professional installation contractors. So FCICA is a great resource for our industry in commercial flooring. Of that, the SIM program, which is the Certified Installation Management Program, is basically a project management program. Whereas there are a lot of other uh, faculties out there that provide installation instructions, how to actually install flooring, how to do proper floor prep, and the like. The SIM program is a little bit more regarding the project management, where you see the big picture. How do I fit in as a flooring installation contractor in the big project? And how do I work with general contractors? How do I understand contracts? How do I read specifications? Again, talks about a lot about best practices. So the SIM program is additional training that we really recommend for all installation contractors as well, to better improve how you perform in your flooring project. Again, it is a online program that you can take either again online or in a limited person capacity, which we offer those as well. So that's where the FCICA really wants to educate installation contractors, is from the project management side. How does the flooring industry fit in with the overall project?
Yeah, the 2 days to sim one was actually really nice. Mike was actually heading that one up, so appreciate you, Mike. Mike Newberry over here. Uh, Lots of great information, and I think it's a great program, and I'm really glad to see that Go Carrera's putting that out there so that way people can. I think a lot of people don't realize that as an installer that those resources that you have aren't always there, right? So money could be a little tight sometimes, and it's nice for Go Career to put their money out there where their mouth is and say, here you go, here's a scholarship, go learn something.
Yeah, greatly appreciated.
Yeah. So I like to say that, you know, the hands-on certifications and technical training is how to do the product or how the product works. And, you know, the sim training is how the project works. And so when you know how a project works, you learn a lot through that. And so it can't do anything but benefit you as an installation contractor. Mike Newberry joined us a little bit ago. Mike, you want to introduce yourself real quick and maybe your 2 words on the or 2 cents on the sim program.
Sure. Yeah, I apologize for a little bit of the technical difficulties there getting on board, but my name's Mike Newberry. I've been involved in the flooring business. They asked me for our website the other day. 37 years. Started in a warehouse and went through estimating, became a salesperson, project manager, and have been primarily working on the operations side of the business for the most of my career. I had the privilege of being involved with the SIM program early on while we were developing the program itself. I had the distinct privilege of being able to present a couple of the modules within that. And I got to say, the SIM program, it's the only project management program, certification program dedicated specifically to the commercial flooring industry. So this is not generalized project management. Nothing wrong with that, but we're in the flooring business, so this is tailored to flooring professionals. The materials delivered by flooring professionals, guys who have been in the same position the rest of us have been in. They've kind of fought the battles. And we even sent one of our estimators through and found that the biggest benefit was from that was an estimator looks at all sorts of, I need to prep here, I need to do this there, and I need to get all this in my pricing. But sometimes I don't understand how that impacts everything downstream. So we found it beneficial to educate everybody in our operations side. And we have scheduled this year to send the rest of our folks through the SIM program just for that reason, because it gives a well-rounded education to everybody from your estimators through your project managers. And so obviously I'm going to put a plug in for it, but it is something that you should consider as a commercial contractor.
Yeah, so all those contestants or applicants out there that have, applied for the scholarship, if you win, congratulations. If not, consider one of the SIM in person. 2 days to SIM. Is it two? There's
2
a 2 days
days.
to SIM.
That's 2 days
I believe now.
Yeah.
It used to be 3 days to SIM,
Yeah.
and then the online version is awesome as well. I want to bring Sonny in and have Sonny kind of tell us about what you're doing with the summit. So we're in this training talk. As often we fall on here on the huddle. The new deal that you got going on, it's going to be in Atlanta, correct? Could you tell us a little bit? Dalton.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Dalton, just outside of Atlanta.
Just
how 100 miles or something?
Well, with traffic, it can be 2 hours or 8 days, just depending on how traffic is.
So Sonny's going to be doing the summit, and I'll let you take it from there and kind of tell us how the idea came about and a little bit more about that and why people should attend.
Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. Well, what we wanted to do, let me back up a little bit, tell you how we got to where we are, is Unite is a new group that's out there created by Robert Varden. He asked me to be on their board of directors, and we got to talking, and their group and NAFCT has a lot of similarities, a lot of synergies, same goals in the industry, trying to make it better for the installer. And so we decided to get together, put together an event that not only has educational sessions, has a little trade show. We're going to have a panel discussion, a well-rounded event that has a lot of different things for different people. So it's not just sitting in a classroom for 2 days. It's not just walking a trade show. There's a lot of different things involved. One of the things that Mike touched on a minute ago was, gearing it towards the project managers. So they know what's going on. The problem is a lot of times the installer doesn't understand what the project manager's responsibilities are, sometimes vice versa, versus the dealers, the manufacturers on down the road. So what we're going to try to do is take a grassroots approach to this. On the afternoon of the second day, we're going to have a panel discussion and talk about what is that disconnect between installers, dealers, contractors, manufacturers, and inspectors, to let each group know what the other group is responsible for. And if you can understand what the other group is responsible for, you know how to get your part ready, right? So this is really a follow-up to what we had at the FCICA convention with CFI back in, what was that, October, September, somewhere around there, where we had this great discussion, and then we ran out of time. And I can't tell you how many people came up to me afterwards, was like, this is great, we need to do more. So I hope FCICA doesn't mind, but we took the ball and ran with it, because we're getting these requests. where people want to learn more about how does certification help me and whose responsibility is it to get that certification, right? So that's kind of how we came to how this thing came to fruition. We've got a lot of big manufacturers involved, not only to be in the trade show, but to be speakers there. We have Dean Kraft talking about concrete. We have Seth Pavarnik talking about underlayments. Lee Phillips from PTL. Some of you guys may know him. He is the lab guy who tests everything for all the mills in Dalton. He knows all the test standards. So he's going to come in and talk about that. And I'm going to talk about ASTM standards and how it relates to that. I know I'm rambling here a little bit, but there's so much involved. There's no way I can give you an elevator speech on how it is, on what it's going to be, because it is going to be so dynamic. And I hope everyone can make it.
Give us the dates and the location. You said Dalton. Just what facility, and what are the dates?
Yeah, so it's going to be February 22nd and 23rd, which is a Thursday and Friday, and it's going to be held at the Dalton Convention Center. So if you've ever been to Dalton, it sits right up on the side of the mountain, looks over the whole town there. So it's really easy to find, pretty easy to get to if you're flying in through Chattanooga or even Atlanta. It's realistically, it's about an hour and a half drive up to Dalton. And we really hope you guys can make it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that outline of what's going to be going on. I mean, the whole episode's based around training, and then installer pay, and all these things matter, guys. What's really important is that you understand that there are resources out in the industry from the SIM program to help you not only, like I said earlier, kind of understand how a project is done, but also hands-on. You guys should have, Sonny, a glue competition, like speed. That gets some guys excited.
we do one with Divergent sometimes. What we'll do is we'll pour out a bucket of multi-purpose adhesive on the floor.
See who can pick it up the fastest.
See who can put it up back in the bucket, and then you win prizes. So that's pretty fun, because the helpers usually end up with half the bucket on them. The experienced guys don't have any glue on their fingers at all. So
yeah, do it with cutback and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
If you've ever messed with it in your life. Well, awesome. So guys, take note. It's in February. Again, the dates are the 22nd and 23rd.
Yes. 22nd and 23rd, which is a Thursday and Friday.
Dalton
And
Convention
on the
Center.
website, I didn't see any information about what hotels. Is it just any hotels in the area then?
Yeah, just any hotel. I mean, most of the people who are going to attend are be pretty local. But there's a Courtyard, there's a Fairfield Inn, there's a couple of Hilton properties, a Holiday Inn.
So basically, wherever you have your rewards points, there's a spot for you to stay.
That's right. That's right. Some people have their, like me, I'm a Marriott baby, so I only stay at Marriott's because I get those points.
Well, thank you for giving us the outline there. I want to encourage everybody that's watching, if you are catching this on one of the social channels, or you see this on YouTube, consider giving us a like, a subscribe, give thumbs up, thumbs down, either way. Just engage.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Also, as you see, we run this deal where we want to hear from you about topics that are important to you. So if you have topics you want us to bring some experts on for, or just have the three of us ramble on about, feel free to send us an email at support@GoCarrera, email Daniel or Jose at Preferred Flooring. We're getting ready to do the drawing here. So that's coming up next. What we'll do here for the drawing is each name of the 15 names, I'll have Ashlyn pop it up on the screen. Hopefully this works. We're using some new technology here. And if you see your name, you will see a number next to it. At that point, I'll do the little deal. We'll pull a number and we'll announce the winner right there. So, Ashlyn, if you can.
She's working on it.
In the meantime, when that pops up, I'm going to I might just go ahead and pull the number, and then when she has it up, I'll announce the name. And we're doing good old-fashioned bingo style. So
I really hope that the winner understands the value of what
Here,
they're getting
I got you,
gifted.
Ashlyn.
I don't think I truly understood it until I sat through the 3 days of sim and realized that it bridged the gap. And it might have went over a few things that I might have learned the hard way, but holy smokes, did that class really educate me and help me see the light for what color it was instead of just saying I seen the light down the hall.
Yeah, it's very in depth for sure.
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's where I met Mr. Kelly.
That's right. Not too long ago. It was a few years and a lot of fun years since.
all right. Well, Ashlyn,
We had it up, but then she tried to put herself on camera.
well, she's better looking than any of us. So
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. We got Santa Claus on today.
What do you say? He's the Timu Santa?
all right, Ashlyn, in lieu of doing that, I'm just going to tell you the number, and you can
Even if she
chime
pops it
or,
in the chat.
Yeah, you tell us who the winner is.
He did
Number
have it.
29.
Share screen. Look at that.
29, Ashlyn. I thought that meant that you won, Daniel. I was like, I don't think he even. Jess Wilson.
Hopefully he's on.
You know, I
If
wonder
Jess is
what
on, congratulations, Jess. Ashlyn, can you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about Jess? Maybe. I am muted. Can you unmute her there, Daniel?
She is unmuted, but we can't hear anything that she's saying. Let me see.
Okay.
Here we go.
We'll see if it'll let her talk.
Testing.
Just curious a little bit. Does anybody know Jess Wilson on the call? No? Well, congratulations, Jess.
Yeah, congratulations, Jess.
You just got a lot of information.
What locations? Everyone who applied. I wonder where everyone's from. Was there any a number? You know,
they were kind of all over.
Was it?
They were kind of all over from a location standpoint. And I don't have the list in front of me to say anything about Jess. So, Jess, we'll be reaching out to you. FCICA will be reaching out to you to get you the information to, claim the scholarship, and then they'll work with you to go through either the online or 2 days or whichever event works out best for you. So congratulations. And
depending on where Jess is, that may be a good opportunity to host a 2 day sim there. You already got one to start with. So depending on where he is.
Get both of the mics out there at the same time.
That'd be a win-win.
I do want to take the opportunity here to just thank Go Carrera for all your support of the SIM program and for sponsoring this scholarship. Really means a lot to us and really shows y'all's commitment to training and improving our industry. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're very much welcome. We really love the FCICA and everything that goes around. We had at my flooring company several sims. I myself am not yet, and I can't enter the scholarship, so I just need to go to one of them myself. But I've read through the books and been able to ingest some of that stuff. So it's a great program. Many of the guys at our company that have been through it, you could see the difference in the approach as soon as they got back. A lot of times as business owners, and I'll talk to you guys out there that are flooring companies that have project managers on your staff, a lot of times we can talk till we're blue in the face about a certain way to do things. There's something about having a third party vindication of those processes and procedures you may have. A lot of the stuff that we teach at our company, at the flooring company, got reinforced at SIM and some new stuff. And the cool thing about that was the guys, your employees, when they see a actual program, tell them this is the best approach, this is the best process, and it's been developed by multiple flooring contractors, guys like Mike Newberry. I know, Sonny, you said you worked in that on the SIM program as well. These guys have been in flooring for a long time, and so the best practices that come out of the SIM program is kind of a consolidation of knowledge. So if you have project managers, I would encourage you, if you don't go yourself like me, at least get your people to it, which is you'll see a difference. So thanks again for everybody who applied. It's really awesome. Again, Jess, congratulations. And we're gonna go to closing statements on overall, and we're just going to go around the board here. I'd like to hear, like, what do you tell your people if you're at a lot of us are either flooring company owners or have been, or we're a manufacturer at this point with Sonny. What is your best elevator pitch to a new guy that's coming into the industry about continuing their training?
I'll let Mr. Newberry start. He's got the most experience.
I tell them first off that welcome to the flooring industry. You're never going to get out.
This is true.
It is.
That's a true statement. It's a very true statement.
What I really try to drive home to anybody who is new to the industry and shows up is this is not a job, it's a career. And there's so many opportunities if you really dedicate yourself to it. And while you tend to think of it as a simple place, flooring is very complex and complicated. And the people who know it well can be very successful in it. So I encourage them to not just do their job, but learn about their job.
Awesome. Let's go with the next mic.
Sure. Well, I'll say what I've learned over the years when it comes to training in the flooring industry is, learning from some of these industry experts who have been in the business for 20, 30, 50 years. They love to teach and they love to train on the flooring industry because they want the industry to be better. And you can learn from their mistakes, really is what it is. They will tell you all the battle scars that they've earned, all the war stories they've gone through. You can really save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of money if you learn from others and always be asking those questions. I also say that the cost it takes to invest in training, you will earn that back tenfold in either growth opportunities and sales or in just savings. You don't want to be losing money on your projects because you didn't know exactly what to do on the front end. And so the more training you do and the more investment you make up front, you will earn that back tenfold, 100-fold at times.
Well said. Both guys. Hey, Daniel, preferred, tell us your pitch there.
Man, it's like when I started going, I think Sonny and Paul were in it at the beginning, right? Because I think I went to their events before I even got certified by CFI, and it's just a wealth of knowledge there that you don't even know that you didn't know some of this information until you go to one of these things, and it's like, man, I didn't even know half of the stuff that they were talking about. And like, it's some of the stuff, I'll never use it again, but it's also good information to know just in case you ever see anything that that's out of line. And it's like, oh, they talked about this at this one seminar with the NAFCT, and I remember that. So it's a lot of stuff that you get to keep in your back pocket. A lot of knowledge, a lot of great people that you meet. I mean, Sonny and I mean, we have meetings every few weeks now, just talking about stuff. And trying to see how we can move the industry forward even more.
Awesome. Hey, brother Jose, what's your pitch for training?
So I don't know if it's going to really be a pitch, but I will say this. I will say if you're already good at a discipline, you will get better. You will learn something that you didn't know. You will have an aha moment in one of the trainings or certifications. If you want to learn a niche, then by all means find some training, some certification. What this will help you do, and this is good for business, is it's going to help you create separation from yourself and other installers, right? So, I mean, the topic is get trained, get paid. And I think that is what separates you from the others is what will lead you to success, as long as you're willing to put forth the effort. Um, that's really all I have to say. Is it will create separation, and that's the only thing you can do. And especially the commercial flooring in the bid market, so cutthroat, you're going to have to create some kind of separation in order to stand out. It's low bid doesn't always get the job, right? And
Yeah.
if it's not low bid, then it's the company that stands out. It's the company that shows they're putting forth the effort to be better at that discipline. And I would say, take a class, some training, create separation.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to let you close this out. Sonny, I'll give my 2 cents. I always say that there's only two ways you get better at something. That's education and experience. You can make one go faster and you have control of one. You can't accelerate 20 years of experience. So this one, the guys that it's often the guys that have been doing it for a long time that are the most resistant to new certifications or getting certified. But for you new guys, I want to tell you, you can't fast track 20 years of experience, but you can fast track your training. You can fast track education by getting involved and going to more education, finding the discipline that you love, and then doubling down. I started in carpet installing and being a helper. I found my love in sheet vinyl and heat welding and flash coving, and that's where I excelled. That's where I went and got certified. And I enjoyed that process. I got really good at it. It helped me grow my company. I now employ, 30 plus people at the flooring company and utilize probably 75 or 80 subcontractors. And you only can kind of go through those steps with education. So I always say, double down on the thing you have control over. You have control over your education. You don't have control over your experience. Sonny, how about you close us out?
All right, got shade under 2 hours, so I'll go here. But I think the most important thing about training is exactly what I learned from FCICA. You're going to go there, you're going to learn some things, right? You're going to learn something every time you go. But the relationships that you develop at these groups, especially FCICA, I have friends through FCICA that go far beyond just being business acquaintances. We go on trips together, and we develop those relationships by going to these groups and networking with all these professionals that are there. But my favorite story I tell people about FCICA is I'm allowed to smoke one cigar a year now. One. And I hold it for FCICA, and I sit down with Mike's dad, Pat, and I sit with a guy by the name of Sim Chrysler, who is probably the smartest flooring guy on the planet, no joke. And I just sit there and listen to him. You think I talk a lot? I just sit there and listen to those two, and they can tell me experiences that, like what you said, I may have never seen before, never heard of, and they talk me through it and work me through it, and it's the best education you'll ever get. Okay? The other thing I want to talk about with training is know what you're trying to learn. Okay, that's the most important thing. If you need a project manager, there's nowhere else to go but FCICA, right? If you want to learn how to do wood, NWFA, that's where you go. We do subfloor substrate. CFI does carpet. There's specialized groups that you can go to and spend time with and learn your trade, learn the people who are the manufacturers of the products that you're using, which doesn't sound like a lot. But if you call us and have the direct number to call us before you do something wrong, we'll high five you and support you all day. Don't call us after you did it wrong because you didn't read the bucket, right? We want to help you. I know I'm the only manufacturer on here, but we really want the job to go well. We want you to be able to do the job to the best of your ability and understand what's going to happen. And getting involved with any type of trade association, be it NAFCT, FCICA, NWFA, CFI, I could go down the line with all the acronyms, ASTM especially. Get involved with the group and get a support group around you, because that's what we are, right, Daniel? We bounce things off all the time. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And if I wasn't involved with a trade association, I would never have met anybody on this call, right? I met every single one of you through trade associations, and I'm happier for it.
Amen. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. Just to kind of close that out, all these trainings come into real life, advantages on our platform called Go Carrera. The fact is every one of these matter, and it increases your hammer rating, matches you for more projects, and gives you the ability to do the projects that you enjoy doing and that the company needs you to do. So it's a real nice marriage. We've had the pleasure to be able to fill contracts and work orders all over the nation, some even over in Hawaii. I think we filled one over there and got the work done. It's not always perfect. Be patient when you're on the platform. The platform's awesome. You'll get your hammer rating and everything. But at the end of the day, we don't have, there's not work all over the nation. So come for the community. We'll be announcing some really cool stuff next week on the podcast here about what we're doing around the community and to build a strong community within the Go Career Network. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Mike. I better
Mike
do
and
the
Mike.
last name too. Mike Newberry. Thank you, Mike Kelly. Thanks, Sonny, for joining us. Gentlemen, as always, you're awesome.
I got one more challenge though for you, Paul, before we sign off. You mentioned
Yes,
that
sir.
you weren't SIM certified. Believe it or not, I'm not either. You find a 2-day to SIM to go to. I'll pay.
One
for
was
it.
just
I'll go
announced
with you. We'll do it together.
Amen.
Wasn't there a 2 days to SIM just announced?
I think
we're gonna check into that.
We have a few coming up. We do have one in April that's up in New Jersey. So you have that as an option. Maybe some others.
Well,
I've been to Jersey before.
Host one. I'll go out there.
And
where's that?
I said at your place you can host one. I'll come out there. You want to have to travel?
We're actually been working on getting one hosted up in at our Kansas City location, trying to get enough of the. I think we had 5 or 6 from our flooring company, and then trying to get enough to fill a class. So I know that's still actively being worked on from our manager up there. So if we can get that one on the books, then both of us get to join one another up in Kansas City and get SIM certified ourselves. So
yeah, and we got a trade show right around the corner too. So we'll probably see. Are you guys everyone over here gonna be at Ties?
I will not be.
We'll be there.
Not this year.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're not at Tice, try to get to one of the conventions this year. And if you're going to be at Tice, come see us. We're going to shoot the podcast. We're going to do some overtime. So we're going to do podcast on Tuesday. We're going to do some overtime podcasts on Wednesday. It's going to be 2 or 3 days worth of podcasting from the Tice the convention in Las Vegas. Surfaces, as it's fondly referenced, but Tice is the official name. So look that up online and join us. Reach out to us if you need any information on that. And gentlemen, I'm going to let you all go. I really appreciate everybody coming.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. It was a great conversation today.
Thanks, Jose. Thanks, Daniel.
Last but not least, congratulations, Jess.
All right.
Jess.
Good job.
All right.
Congratulations.
See you guys.
All right,
See you guys.
Bye.